Hey basketball coaches and players, today I am going to be breaking down the San Antonio Spurs back in their heyday, and of course, let's get down and let's check them out. Okay, so this first play is one of the most highly used plays from way back in the Tim Duncan era. And from there, what we're going to have is a pass over towards the other guard from Tony Parker. Tony Parker is going to get a screen from Tim Duncan, and then at this point, we're going to have the wing player. He's going to be popping up, and after that pass, Tony Parker is going to go down in towards that low corner. They're going to pass back to Tim Duncan, and at this point in time, Diaw is going to set a screen for Ginobili, and Ginobili is going to use Tim Duncan as a dribble handoff. After that dribble handoff, Tim Duncan is going to go rolling towards the basket, and Ginobili is going to be passing Tim Duncan the ball. This gives you multiple options. Of course, Tim Duncan has the ability to go up for that shot, and that is a very popular option. However, what we do see here is two players who are potentially open on the other side of the court, because now with that player, Tim Duncan, cutting and rolling towards the basket after that dribble handoff, what happens is now those other weak side defenders come down to help out with one of the best players of all time getting the ball into the paint. He kicks that ball out to Tony Parker, who now has the option to take that shot or pass over for an extra pass to get a three-point shot. Now, sometimes when he did do this pass, this defender would come over to defend, and then it would be a third pass over to Ginobili for that three-point shot. The thing that you will notice with the San Antonio offense a lot of the time is to drive or roll towards the basket or cut to the basket to get that ball into the key. So no matter what offense that you're running, if you can get it into the key, the ball into the key, you're obviously going to have many options to score yourself, but also the ability to pass out when help defenders come down to try to stop your player from scoring in the paint. And of course, in this play, we have Tony Parker nailing the three. Now, in this next play, we have Ginobili up top. They're running a horn-style offense with a screen and roll up top with Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan rolls towards the basket, and then Kawhi Leonard pops out to the three-point line. Ginobili now has two decisions to make. He can pass to Tim Duncan or he can pass over to Kawhi Leonard. Now, Kawhi Leonard is usually covered, in this case, by 25. He would have been able to pick that off, so they get that ball into Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, again, remember what I was mentioning, get it into the paint. Whether you're running up against a zone defense or a man-to-man, getting the ball into the paint is going to be extremely deadly. It's more deadly against a zone defense, however, it still does work quite well against a man. By getting that ball into the paint, that draws down Chris Paul into the paint to try and take a charge on Tim Duncan. Now, Tim Duncan could have just went for that shot because, as we can see, Chris Paul is in the paint, but we also see Blake Griffin. Now, if you're a bit younger and you don't remember how much Blake Griffin can jump, he can jump out of a building, or over a building, I should say, because he literally jumped over top of a car. But Tim Duncan passes it out to what looks to be Patty Mills. Patty Mills is then able to drain that three-point shot. We now have a 5-out offense, and Ginobili was starting with the ball up here, and then we had Tim Duncan over here, and he's setting that screen. From there, Tim Duncan rolls towards the basket. Very similar action as what we had with the first play that I broke down, but with that ball screen, Ginobili uses that screen, and then Tim Duncan rolls towards the basket. Patty Mills gets that pass from Ginobili, who Patty Mills could have taken that shot, could have passed it over to what looks to be Diaw for that shot, but instead, what he does is he passes it in to Tim Duncan, which then collapses literally 3/5 of the other team. He's looking at the play like, oh crap, we're screwed, but he kicks that ball out to Diaw, and Diaw was able to bang that three. The thing with Tim Duncan as a big man was, yes, he could use that backboard like a god, but he was also very good at kicking that ball out for a three-point shot. And if you're a big man who gets the ball in the paint a lot, this is something of a skill that you should probably work on a lot. Now this is the same play against Denver. Now we have Tim Duncan setting that screen again for Ginobili. Ginobili is using that screen. Now instead of passing it over to Danny Green, what he does is now he passes that ball into the paint to Tim Duncan, who's rolling towards the basket. Now I'm going to tell you right now, Tim Duncan could have probably easily scored that basket, but the theme behind the San Antonio offense and the Nick Nurse offense of the Raptors is to try and find the path of the least resistance. If you look at science class, you talk about that a lot with electricity, and that theme transfers really well into basketball. And here we have 3 players as resistance to score. Meanwhile, this guy, Patty Mills, has 0 resistance, so they're able to pass him the ball for a wide open 3-point shot. Now this next play is actually quite interesting. It's a box offense, which is what I like to actually run with really young teams. Box offenses are very simple to run, and we do see it at the NBA level. So we've got a big man in each corner, then we have a forward in each corner, then we have our guard up top. From there, we have Kawhi Leonard, what looks to be either a screen or a brush screen I'm going to call it, and then a screen from Matt Bonner, the Red Rocket. And from there, he's screening this player here, and he's going to be popping up. Now, something that you're also going to be noticing is as soon as a player passes that ball, he's doing something. He's either cutting or screening for somebody, and he cuts through and out. From there, Danny Green gets that ball after that screen. Now, if this was a solid screen, he could have taken that shot, but it was not a solid screen. From there, now we have this player kicking or popping out to get out of the way. We are now turning into the 5-out offense after what could have been a 3-point shot if it was a solid screen. Now, after that brush screen, they pass that ball into Tim Duncan. Now, the thing with Tim Duncan is he's really good at using his feet and using angles. So from here, he turns left, which then draws this defender in because now he's turning left instead of right. Turning right would have got these 2 players coming in and would have left him wide open, but instead he turned left, draws this defender in so that now he can kick it out to Matt Bonner, the Red Rocket, for the 3-point shot. I just want to give you a little bit of history. Matt Bonner is a very, very good 3-point shooter. So I hope that these offensive plays maybe work with your team, but what I'm trying to get to here is the fact of how to move without the ball, but also how to use angles, how to then knowing if you're going to turn to the left, you're going to have a help defender on that side so you can kick it out, and things like that. I hope that this video was helpful for not just coaches, but also for players. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.